That's okay. It's been a while. No, you did eventually, but I felt hesitation coming over the line. So.
Are we keeping this all in?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah, we're gonna keep it in. I can edit around it or leave it in. Or leave it in for the listeners. We'll see. We'll see what strikes my fancy when I go to edit later. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the Dense Pixels podcast. I'm your host, Brad, joined by my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And making his triumphant return to Dense Pixels, it is Terrence.
What's going on, people? I've been gone for a while. It's been a month.
It's been about a month.
It's been a while.
About a month. So Carrie filled in valiantly last week while Micah was on birthday duty for himself.
Yeah. That was my birthday present to be away from you people.
Happy 65th birthday, Micah. You can start drawing Social Security finally. Congratulations. Look, we were talking before we got recording. I am mad as hell, not about video games or about anything here, but I'm angry. I've got a lot of anger. Fortunately, I have something that I can channel my anger to, and that is Dr. Mario World. So this game came out on mobile last week. You guys are familiar with Dr. Mario, right?
Yes.
I've played it once or twice.
So you understand, capsules fall down. You got to match the colors to the viruses, and it knocks the viruses out. And you got to clear the board. Dr. Mario, pretty simple. Nintendo made a mobile game out of it. So here's what's different. So in Dr. Mario, it's a falling block puzzle game. You throw the pills into the little beaker that the viruses are in, and they fall steadily, much like Tetris. You can rotate them, do what you got to do. In Dr. Mario World, the pills float upward, like it's like inverted, where they go from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen. Now, you can still drag the pills around. Once they enter the field of play, they'll slowly float, but then you can still grab them and move them around. You can still rotate them by tapping on them. The only catch is that you can't, once they pass a certain threshold moving up, you can never move them back down. Once they moved up, they can't go down, but they can go, left and right, or you can slide it right to where you want to place it on the board.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to match, three, basically. You have to have three the same color in a row, and you're trying to knock the viruses out. The gameplay works pretty much as you would expect Dr. Mario to, just translated in a more mobile-friendly environment. Instead of having to worry about filling up the screen, instead you have a set number of capsules, of pills that you have available to you each round. So if you can't clear the board by the time you throw 30 pills out, then you lose, and you have to try the level again. So the gameplay itself, it's a little boring. It's not really anything to write home about. I wasn't, as a huge Dr. Mario fan, I played Dr. Mario like crazy when I was growing up. I wasn't too blown away by this implementation. However, this is one of, and I don't think there's anything in here that's completely outside of the realms of any mobile game, but coming from a company like Nintendo, this is one of the worst mobile implementations of a video game that I've ever seen in my entire life. So the way that you track your plays is that you have to have a currency in the game called hearts. And every time you want to play a level, you have to spend a heart. Now, when you first boot up the game for the very first time ever, you get an hour of infinite hearts. So for the first hour that you play Dr. Mario World, from when you download it and sign in and play, you can play unlimited. But then after that, every time you play a level, you have to spend a heart. Now, if you beat a level for the first time, so if you beat a stage for the first time, you get a heart back. So every time you beat a level that you've never beaten before, you get your heart back, essentially, which is fine. But if you want to go back and replay a level that you played before, and this game does, like every puzzle game does, where you get 1, 2, or 3 stars based on how well you did. So if you want to go back and replay a level to get that 3-star rating that you missed out on, you don't get your heart back the second time, the subsequent times that you play it. Now, the way that you earn hearts is that once you're outside of your maximum number of hearts that you can have, which is 5, by the way, you gain a new heart every half an hour. Now, this clock does run even when you're not playing Dr. Mario World. So if you deplete your hearts and then leave the game for 2.5 hours and come back, you'll be back with a full squad of hearts. But of course, if you're at your maximum heart capacity of 5, you will gain no hearts. You will just sit at 5 hearts. And every time you lose a level and you have to go back and replay the level again, you got to spend a heart. So if you run into a particularly hard level, you get 5 cracks at it, and then you're done for the day, essentially, or until a couple hours from now. Now, I know what you're thinking. Surely there must be a way to purchase more hearts. And you are correct, Micah and Terrence. There is a way to purchase more hearts. There's another premium currency name called diamonds. And diamonds are what you buy with real money.
So that premium currency is money.
Essentially. And if you buy...
Wait, before you can...
Yes,
is this free to play?
It is free to play.
Well, there you go.
It is free to play. But I just want you to understand what you can buy with your diamonds. So if you run out of hearts and you're like, man, I really want to play more Dr. Mario World, but I need more hearts. How can I do this? Well, the good news, guys, you can for the low cost of $2.99 worth of diamonds, you can get infinite hearts for 1 hour. and then you're back to the heart tracking system. Again, now there's also power-ups that you can use to make things a little bit easier on yourself to get through the world. And can you get these power-ups with the in-game currency that you earn by playing, which is coins? No, of course not. The only way that you can buy them is with diamonds. Now, what are these coins that you're earning? You're earning coins every time you beat a level and when you clear different stages. Well, those can buy you new characters. So that you can, like, basically, you have your doctor. So, like, your doctor can be Mario, Peach, or Bowser, and they all have a special ability. And then you can also equip 2 different characters that will also have their special abilities. And there's tons of characters that you can unlock and earn. So, when you start playing, I think they give you, like, 7,000 coins or something thereabouts. After playing for a while, I had amassed 8,000 coins. 8,000 coins was enough to buy me 2 characters that I could equip on my doctor to give me boosts. And if I want to buy more, and I don't want to wait and grind out all these awful coins and get 4,000 coins, then of course I can throw diamonds at it, because diamonds are the way to make it fucking easier to unlock this shit. I expect this stuff from some fucking fly-by-night indie developer that's just trying to fucking make a cash cow. I expect this shit from King Games, but you're Nintendo, dude.
Here's the thing. Here's like I'm listening to all of that, and I'm not mad at it, because that's exactly how every other game does it.
And I understand that, but I don't know why I expect more. I expect more from Nintendo.
That's the blueprint. Yeah.
You expect more. You expect more from a company that rehashes consoles every couple of months.
Yes, I do. I do.
To make a quick buck. Look, I get your frustration. I get it.
I uninstalled it. I played through the first played through the first 40 levels, and I'm just like, all right, I'm not doing this anymore.
I only play 2 mobile games, and yeah, like I play them on the train, and luckily, but yeah, they're the same mechanics. You run out of energy or whatever. I'm just miffed
that I'm just like, it's one thing if you're gonna make me pay $3 to get like 20 hearts. All right, cool.
Yeah, like a set amount.
Yeah, like give me like 20.
Strange.
Give me 20 hearts for unlimited play for an hour. You want to kill an hour at a time? Not have to worry about your hearts here. Give me $3.
That shit drove me crazy with Apex Legends, because they have, like, basically when you level up, you get those little Apex coins, or whatever the fuck they're called, and those are only good for unlocking characters by themselves. But when you get those coins, I have like 80,000 of them.
Yeah, but at least you can play Apex Legends.
All right, you got to wait 30 minutes. You get a heart back or whatever.
Right, I'm gonna say, like if you fucking suck at a level, you get, like I said, you get 5 stabs at it, and then you're on the bench for 30 minutes while you wait for another chance to fall down the pipe.
Yeah, that part is
30 minutes to get another heart.
Yeah.
Yo, that's ridiculous.
No, that's you pay that $3, you get an hour, my nigga. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's how it's set up. And that's how it's set up. That, you know, people are like, it is literally set up that way for you to be like, well, like, I just ran out of hearts. Like, man, this level's really hard. I don't want to wait a half an hour and then only get one more shot at it. Well, let me just give them $3. Then I can just try it as much as I want for the next hour. Like, that's what it's there for.
But Is there a tier where you can just unlock just infinite hearts?
No,
you can't do
Nope.
that. It's like
Nope.
for $30, just
Nope.
unlock the whole thing.
Nope, I would have preferred that. Like I said,
right.
let me pay you $15 and let me just fucking
And
play
just
to
give
my
me a whole
heart's content.
game.
Right. Mario Run did that. It was $5. Now Nintendo bitch because they didn't make a lot of money from it. I get that, but I mean, at least it was reasonable to be like, unlock my game for $5. Okay, cool. That's reasonable. Fucking $3 for an hour of play.
Yeah, man.
Don't play Dr. Mario World. It's bad, and you should feel bad if you're playing it.
Well, speaking of feeling bad,
that was exactly what that fucking summation was just teeing up Micah.
I don't even know what this is.
Don't Google it.
I did, and I saw like a Japanese anime thing going on, and I'm like,
look, the last bastion of my weeaboo-ness that I will talk about openly is my fascination with the Senran Kagura series. Originally, the series,
I have to put an age verification in here.
The series,
just to let you know, just to let you guys know a bit of behind the curtain stuff with GameStop. As we all used to work at GameStop, or we're all associated with GameStop. So there are some Senran Kagura games that literally can't be displayed on the sales floor because even like the box art is beyond the pale as to what is acceptable in a family-friendly game establishment.
I would imagine that this would be one of them. So yeah, the Senran Kagura series started off as just like a Dynasty Warriors type, go around and just beating up hordes of people. And eventually one of the games was like a third person shooter with all the high school ninja girls playing at the beach and shooting water guns at each other. And now this one is a pinball game. Now it has a story now.
And they go, what is this?
Brace yourself. Okay.
Oh my god.
The cast of Senran Kagura have been put under a magical spell, which makes them think that they're animals and that they dress up in sexy animal attire, right? And it's your job as the player to use the peach ball to cure them and transform them back into humans. And by transform them back into humans, you play the pinball game and you keep throwing the pinball at the girls, right? In order to take their clothes off.
Is your wife when you played this?
Who?
Your wife.
Huh? And
what the fuck is this? I'm looking at a video right now, and I am embarrassed for you.
Well, look, I am what I am, I guess.
This is fucking wild. Like, it's not the worst anime that I've ever seen, but this is unacceptable.
Terrence, Micah paid $49.99 US.
Micah not paid $49. First of all, it retails for $40.
Oh, my apologies.
Okay. And second of all, Micah has been buying games on his Switch and has been saving digital coins for just such occasions.
Wait, what? What is that?
So when you buy a digital game on the Switch, they give you a certain amount of coins, right?
So what the fuck is going on in this game? I'm sorry. I'm listening. Yeah. I am absolutely listening to what you're saying.
Like no bullshit, y'all. Like, for real. I'm talking to the audience right now. No bullshit. Do not Google this game at I'm laughing, but I'm laughing to keep from crying. Like, don't Google this game at work. For real, yo. For real. Like, for real. And so yeah, I had enough coins to knock off $15. So I only paid $25 for it. And it was a birthday present to myself.
Oh, God.
Of course it was.
Here's the thing, though. It's not a very good pinball game. like when all is said, and I guess I shouldn't be surprised because the Senran Kagura games, you don't play those games for their gameplay.
Clearly, because I didn't know what Senran Kagura was.
It's not a very good pinball game. So there's a slight, an ever so slight delay between pressing the triggers and having the flippers flip on the pinball table.
It's
And
a pinball game.
and that's not cool in a pinball game because you need to be able to, like, those things need to be digital where it feels like they're analog. You know what I mean? Like I have to depress the thing all the way down. So I have to, it's not instant. So I have to time where the ball is on relation to the flipper, but I have to kind of like lead my shot if I'm aiming. So it's not a very good pinball game. And they only have 2 tables. And one of the tables sucks. So yeah. Look, if you're a fan.
So is it just 2 tables with these chicks sitting on it half naked in doggy style?
Yeah, and then you have to complete certain things around the board, and then you hit the girl, and then it takes them into a special room where you use flippers to kind of hit their clothes off, and you have to do that, and you have to do that 3 times, and then the third time, there is a situation where either the young lady's chest or her posterior is sitting on the table.
No, that's what I saw when I turned it off.
Hit the flippers, flippers to, you know,
to do what?
Complete, finish.
Yo. The Japanese are fucking crazy.
So there you go. Not a very good pinball game, but
okay.
The understatement of the century.
Yo, this is.
Oh my god,
this is crazy.
That's fantastic. It's incredible how little shame you have talking about that.
Look, I'm an open book in front of this microphone.
Yo, you are literally hitting her in her titties with your like I'm dead. Like if you look, like I feel like you should Google this, Brad. If you have not seen this,
I have not. I'm afraid to. Quite frankly,
it's insane.
Oh my lord!
Good God! All right, okay, sure.
So, speaking of hitting people, new release highlights this week. There's really only 2 games to talk about. You have new shit?
I haven't been on since I bought the game.
That's true.
What was it? Bloodstained. Virtual of the Night. You talked about it last week or the week before.
2 weeks ago.
On the Switch, which I've heard the Switch version is not all that great. I don't know if they've updated it yet so it's functional.
Not really.
I guess not. Yeah, I got the PS4 version. That game is really good. I've clocked in 35 hours, I think, of it. I've beaten it on normal and hard. 100% of the map. And there's still, I think I'm only done maybe 70% of all the weapons that you can collect. I haven't created all the food yet. Like it is, if you've played Symphony of the Night, it's like absolutely a spiritual successor to that game. It's so good. Like I really like it. I put almost 40 hours into it, and it's a Castlevania game. Ridiculous. The amount of stuff, and then there's DLC coming. I don't know when.
There's supposed to be a lot of DLC, isn't there? It's
right.
all free.
It's supposed to be like extra characters and shit coming out soon. It's really good. Like, I hope they fix that Switch version because I think you'd really like it because there's a lot to do. Like, it's the same map. It's just the same castle that you're going through, but it's kind of just collecting everything. It's a collectathon once you finish the game. I haven't done nightmare mode yet, where things get a little like all it is just, of course, the enemies just hit harder, a lot harder in nightmare mode, and you can go New Game Plus, so you can keep all your stuff. You can level shit up. Yeah,
like the enemies, you know, they ain't no slouches on normal mode.
Yeah, every enemy drops a shard. So you essentially get a special move from every single enemy in the game, even the bosses.
Nice.
Yeah. So and I think I finally got 100% for the shards maybe like a couple days ago. There's a lot to do, but if you're a Castlevania fan, it's worth it. I think it's $40 when it came out. Yeah, it's $40. So.
The amount of stuff that's in that game, like just like the weapons and like it seems overwhelming. You know what I mean? But in like a good way. Like I can't wait to dig into this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's from what I could reasonably play.
And there's a lot of secrets. I got stuck maybe like halfway through where I had to go to YouTube because I didn't know what the fuck to do. I just did not know where I was supposed to be going next. There's a couple instances where you're just kind of like, okay, I have no clue where I'm going. And you can finish the game before you actually get like the true ending. Like I'll beat the game and I'm like, that's it. I only have 39% of the castle opened up. What the fuck? What did I do wrong? But then in order to get the real ending, you have to do some crazy shit that you ain't gonna figure that shit out without a goddamn guide. It's ridiculous. I'm like, come on, yo, that's stupid. But yeah, once I got past that, it's such a great game. I can't recommend it enough. And I finally beat Dead Cells like 2 days ago.
Oh shit.
I never actually got through an entire round, an entire playthrough of it until like 2 days ago. Finally got to the final boss and beat that, and you get a cell where you can put the game on hard mode, and that's just not easy. And I don't even have the weapons unlocked in that game, and I bought that last year. But I started I'm like playing a whole bunch of like side-scrolling 2D games.
I was about to say, it's funny how it seems like Bloodstained. I guess
I finished Bloodstained, and I'm like, yo, let me go back to Dead Cells because I never fucking finished that, and I beat it 2 days ago. Well, not beat, but I finished a run, an actual playthrough of it, because I never was able to get to the final boss. But when I got to him this time, I kind of kicked his ass because I was almost over leveled. He's really fucking hard. Like he's. I don't think it's possible to. This is one thing I don't like about games. Getting to bosses and not being able to like run through a boss battle and not take any damage. I think it's impossible to not take damage from the final boss in this game, which kind of pisses me off because I want to try. To get that like perfect run, but nah, I don't think it's possible. The other bosses, yeah, but the last boss, no, he's gonna hit you with something, whether you're good enough or not. So that was it. There's that. I played a little bit of C2 for Apex Legends. They have the new character. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know how to use her yet. They changed up the map a little bit. They did something with the sounds of the guns. Some of the guns sound a little different. It just plays a little differently. It feels a little strange.
It is odd to me that they have dragged their feet a little bit when it comes to making improvements.
The game is still good. They're taking Fortnite updates damn near every week,
and that's too much to be
like
true.
It's
but like
a little ridiculous.
But like Destiny's putting out like significant patches like monthly for their game. So
like every week you'll see, like, because I have Fortnite down. I don't play it, but I have Fortnite downloaded, and like I'll turn my system on and like there's an update for Fortnite. I'm like, nigga, you just updated it yesterday. Like what the so, like Fortnite really updates almost every week or maybe every other week. And to compete with them, like you can't wait like 4 months. I know you have seasons, but you got to do something in between while those seasons are going on, because if you're trying to stay with them, you're not going to do it by like just kind of going silent for 3 or 4 months at a time. It's not going to work because people have really, really fucking short attention spans. The game is still solid. Right? It's not dead like some people are saying, but
people trip me out.
You're not going to be able to compete.
People trip me out with that, like, oh, it's dead because I'm not playing it.
Right? Like, no, nigga. Like, plenty of people. I still have no problem finding a game. Like, if I can jump on at 3 a.m. and find a game within a minute, it's fine. It's not dead. But it's still good. It's just they gotta update a little bit more.
We're going to talk about Apex a little bit because that's actually in the news stories this week. New releases. There's really only 2 games to speak of, like I mentioned. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 comes out for the Nintendo Switch.
This is what I want to Switch for. but I'm afraid it's going to be more 2 than 1. Because I didn't.
I'm intrigued, but so I was really intrigued, and then when I saw gameplay, I was a little scared. I'm still gonna play it. I just don't know how much it's. If it looks deeper than it appears, or if it is deeper than it looks from the gameplay that I've seen, then I'm gonna have a good time. If it's pretty shallow, then it's not gonna get played for very long.
I think
the first one wasn't super shallow. It's just like you could. I mean, the first one wasn't really deep. It's just like you could just level your character up to like infinity. Like there was no level cap. I don't think was there?
I don't think so. This one is it's still very button mashy. From what I can tell,
which is fine. I mean, if it's Diablo light, then I'm cool with that.
It might be Diablo really light.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, I think it's more Diablo really light, and if you are a fan of min-maxing, I don't think it depends on how much of a hardcore fan you are.
We'll see. So my fear is that it looks like that the longevity of the game is going to be mostly made through tweaking your builds through the ISOs and then really experimenting with team comp. And if there's a lot to do there, then that's going to be really fun. And if you can make some really powerful builds to take advantage of that system, then that's going to be good. If it's just, hey, you get little slight tweaks and stuff like that, and the ISOs don't really change things that much, then it's going to be pretty boring after 20 or 30 hours.
I have a feeling that's what it's going to be. Like the ISOs aren't really going to be aren't going to have that much of an impact. But we'll see on Friday.
We will. The other game that you all should be looking out for on the Nintendo Switch, of course, is Forklift, the simulation.
Not simulator.
Nope, the simulation of forklifts. Where do they find these fucking games?
Oh shit! And why is it on the Switch?
I don't know, but these graphics are stellar.
I mean, you gotta be able to take your forklift simulating on the go.
I mean, yeah, on a train, Micah.
Oh, gee, play fucking softcore porn ball.
I want to keep that to yourself. Yeah.
I have to imagine that the makers of this game were just huge Shenmue fans that were just like, let me take my favorite part of Shenmue and just make an entire game out of it. So yeah, if you want to simulate driving a forklift, well, the Switch has got a game for you this week. Whew. So,
this is. I feel like the demographic of people that own Switches and want to drive forklifts. There's no Venn diagram for that.
They're just two separate circles that just sit next to one another.
Okay, fine, sure, whatever. Just a game for everything. I don't think people that drive forklifts want to drive a forklift. To be perfectly this is just what I do at work. It's like call center the simulator. Shut up.
Just wait, Terrence. It's probably in development right now.
Nah.
Are you kidding me?
Do I get to curse out the customer? Because I mean, maybe I'll purchase.
I don't know.
What I want, and not get fired.
Maybe you should make call center simulator.
That's so ridiculous.
So, if you do, then inevitably you'll be able to play it on your Switch Lite. Nintendo has announced a new Nintendo Switch that's coming this fall. It is called the Nintendo Switch Lite, Lite. It's going to be slightly smaller than the original Nintendo Switch, and it's going to be a portable-only option. It's going to cost $199. The Joy-Cons are going to be mounted on the side of the system. They will not be detachable. It is slightly smaller with a 5.5-inch screen, which is a little bit smaller. I think the Switch regular is like 6.1 inches diagonal. It's going to be a little bit lighter. It's coming in 3 disgustingly ugly colors. That are coming. The middle one is fine. The middle one's boring, and the other two are not what you want.
I don't like that yellow and the green, like what is it? Seafoam
toothpaste. Grand and Crazy Taxi.
So the system will support external Joy-Con controllers, the Switch Pro controller, Pokeball Plus, all that other stuff. It has the built-in gyro controls as well, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and NFC. However, you will not be able to dock it in your Nintendo Switch dock that you currently own.
So it's not a Switch.
It is in fact not a Switch, I guess. It is a Nintendo portable. They should have just renamed it the portable.
No, they should have named it the Nintendo Light Switch. That sounds funny.
And of course, in November, there will be the first special edition of this console. They are getting a special Pokemon edition that will release right before Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. So, gentlemen, this was pretty expected, I think. I think they had already talked about doing it in Japan. Not a surprise it's coming here. What do you think about the Nintendo Switch Lite?
No. The only thing I'm jealous of is the fact that it has a traditional D-pad.
Yeah, I did forget to mention that a product of not having detachable Joy-Cons is that you can go regular D-pad on there.
Yeah, but that's it. They still have those teeny tiny buttons, and it's not for me. What is it like? Is it $50 less than the
$100 less?
$100. Okay,
it's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
You can't fucking play this shit on your goddamn TV.
It is. Terrence, I'm most interested to hear your thoughts because I know you have expressed the desire, like the offhand desire to get a Switch. So is this more appealing to you than the regular Switch is? How come? Because
I still like to kind of sit, like, if I'm home, I'll just dock it. I would dock the Switch, but like sometimes I'd want to play on the go, like certain games, like what is that? Castlevania, I would like to play on the go, but apparently that damn game is terrible. Or Dead Cells, I would really like to play on the go. Because you can play for 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, so you can get a quick run through. And that's fine. But at the same time, if I want to play something like what was the game and everybody? The Zelda game.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. Like I'd put that on, I'd dock it to play it on my TV. You know? I do. I don't always want it. Like, so this wouldn't work for me. I'm not a handheld guy, but like the Switch itself is, you can do both.
So it's funny. I probably play my Nintendo Switch in handheld mode
more than
90% of the time. Even like I was playing in handheld so much that I even moved the dock up to my office and connected it to my monitor in the hopes that I was like, if it's in front of me, I'll play it in docked mode more. And what ends up happening is I'll take the Switch out of the dock. I'll throw like a podcast or like a YouTube video that I don't have to watch, but I want to listen to in the background. And I'll still play that shit in handheld mode, sitting at my fucking desk. Like I do that shit all the time. Now, that being said, I feel like that $100 is still not only nice to have the option of docking it and playing it on the TV for when that rare game comes along, like Terrence said, Breath of the Wild, you want to play it in all its glory, right? On a big HD monitor. Like that's pretty cool. The other problem is that Nintendo's controllers, the Joy-Cons, I've found anecdotally have had the same issues that you find with other controllers nowadays, where you're playing more games that have twin stick movements on them and that are a little bit more intense, like Fortnite, stuff like that, kids playing it, things of that nature. Those analog sticks are wearing out, and with the Switch proper, if your Joy-Con wears out, you just get another Joy-Con. It's pretty easy. With the Switch Lite, you'd have to get the whole system replaced. Like that's bad news bears. Now, that being said, this thing's going to fucking do gangbusters and sell millions and millions and millions of units.
Yeah. So
don't let that impede them. But yeah, like I said, from my standpoint, like it's $100 is not an insignificant amount of money, but I don't know, just having the option to dock it and having the peace of mind of being able to replace parts if you need to, just seems the better method. But if you're going to use it as a portable only, then yeah, I guess this is what you've been waiting for.
Right. It's dope, but like not for me. Because it's too close. Like it's 5. How many inches? 5 something. 5.5.
Yeah,
it's too close to like mobile games, and I don't like to play mobile games.
it's about the same. If I recall,
like the size of like a S8 or an S10.
How big was the Vita screen? Let me see.
Actually, the Vita screen wasn't all that big.
I feel like the Vita screen was in the 4s, if I'm not mistaken.
It could not possibly.
It was 5 inches even diagonally.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
So like, modern fucking cell phone, like modern, like my phone is like 5.1.
Yeah.
Good God.
But your phone also doesn't have like a giant like fucking chassis around it either. That has, buttons mounted on it and whatnot. So, well, we'll see. Like I said, Sony's punching through a hat right now. They're like, damn it, like we did this 7 years ago. Fuck. So Ubisoft put in a interesting feature that they talked about at E3 this past year into Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where now fans can make like legit missions in Assassin's Creed. They have this PC app that you can make your own missions, complete with different objectives to complete and dialogue trees and cool stuff like that. And you can share them. They basically made Mario Maker for Assassin's Creed. That's pretty neat. However, Ubisoft is cracking down on some folks that are using the creator to make levels that are very easy to farm experience points on.
I mean, fuck you! Like, give me my goddamn XP.
Well, but here's the thing. So I'm gonna read their quote, and then we're gonna talk about why they're cracking down on this, because me and Micah know, and Terrence, you might know. Yeah. So their quote is: "Story creator mode was designed to be a tool for players to let their creativity and imagination run free as they build their very own stories to share with others. XP exploits risk jeopardizing the overall quality, integrity, and purpose of story creator mode, and results in less visibility for the creative, interesting, and frankly fantastic community stories that have been published." They said that they're going to be actively combating these exploits moving forward, and then additionally, players that continue to willingly and intentionally misuse the tool will be, quote, sanctioned for their purpose. Now, not mentioned in this statement that Ubisoft put out is the fact that Ubisoft continues to sell experience point boosters in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Right. That's some foul shit. Like, you put walls in your game, so you're like, yo, you want to get through this quicker? Just pay us $5 to get an XP boost in a single player game. It's a single player, right?
It is.
Yeah, it's all single player.
Fuck off. Yo, that shit is that's just grimy.
It's grimy to not say it. I'd have respected them if they were like, look, we sell a fucking XP booster that this is circumventing, so we can't have this in the game because it's costing us money. That would have been some fucking bold shit to say, but I would have respected it. I don't respect this fucking workaround corporate speak. Like, they're messing with the integrity of the mode. Like, shut up.
The word everybody came out. I was like, yo, fuck off.
Oh, you want to talk about integrity? You making people pay fucking $5 for an experience boost?
Like, come on, yo.
The game is long enough as it is, yo. Like,
what are we doing? What are we doing, Ubisoft?
Like, what does it hurt to let the player become like super powerful?
By the way, for a game that's been out for 9 months,
right? It came out last year.
Yeah.
Like, what does it hurt to let because like when I play single player games, when I play games like that, like my whole goal is to become more powerful than the enemies. That's my whole goal. Like, I don't like games where the enemies level up with me. I don't like that.
That's the thing, yo. Like, they do that with this game.
Yeah, that shit drives me crazy. I think that's what they did with that expansion for what was it? Ubisoft had that expansion to Far Cry 5. They made it like you have different level color, like different levels of guns. Like essentially, like you have white, blue, purple, or whatever. That's how that game plays. So like if you have like a white gun, like it's gonna do less damage to a regular human being than if you have a purple gun. That's fucking dumb. Like you'll get to a section in the game where you're not strong enough because you haven't leveled your gun up.
Well, like everybody knows about the ubiquitous AK-47 BB guns. They don't do anything.
Like, I don't like that mechanic. Like, I get it for like Borderlands and things, because that's the design of that game. That's the whole point of that game. Not fucking Far Cry.
Just
that's what this is. This is fucking ridiculous.
I can't imagine how little revenue 9 months in Ubisoft is still making from these XP boosters, and imagine how cool they would have sounded being like, look, we sold these things up front. We appreciate everyone use it. The people figure out how to make XP, grindfest levels. Whatever. You guys do what you want. Game's been out for 9 months. Enjoy it at your leisure.
Right.
We're not sweating.
Bought it. Like, I do what the fuck I want. Like apparently you can't. Like, it's a single player game. That's why I don't understand.
And that's the thing. You're not hurting anybody.
Exactly. That's the one thing I don't understand when they start cracking down on when people do shit with single player games. Like, nigga, I'm not playing with that person. Like, if it's multiplayer, fine. If they're cheating, nah, fuck you. Single player, yeah, you're not hurting anybody else. So what's the point? They're just cutting into your money, and that money that you're getting, to me, is already foul in the first place. XP boosts. Fuck you.
Mike is nodding his head smiling, but he fucking bought that shit again for Odyssey, I'm sure.
Yeah, goddamn right I did. That game is fucking long as shit.
Not part of the gold pass either, by the way.
Right. That's what pissed me off. Is that the thing? Right. It didn't come with the Uber edition that I bought. Jesus Christ!
The game is long as shit. Witcher 3, did that have XP boosts?
No. But the Witcher 3 also didn't have tedium in terms of side quests. Like not a lot of them.
Did you read Blood, Sweat, and Pixel yet?
No, but I do have it. I'm reading a different book. I'm reading one of my trashy military space opera books by Marco Klus. So
I just finished the Witcher 3 chapter.
Oh,
it's crazy. Like that. The two chapters that I liked the most were the Stardew Valley. One dude did that whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Took him 5 years. That was a cool story. And the Witcher 3, like the way they designed that game, like the departments they had to design that game is kind of amazing. More companies need to do what they do, because that's why the game is so good.
When did this book come out?
2017.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out, because I've really been enjoying what Jason Schreier's been doing lately. I have to imagine this is probably really good.
It's good, like Destiny.
So yeah. And he's got another book coming out, so I'll finish my my space opera, and then I'll get into Blood, Sweat, and Pixels.
Excellent. So, but yeah, like, just fucking be legit with people about what the fuck is going on. Seriously,
bullshit.
Speaking of Apex Legends, they are the latest to try to come up with an inventive way to deal with cheating in their game. Now, they're doing something similar that the PUBG Corporation is doing for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, where they're developing an auto ban technology so that they don't have to wait for reports. They can detect it through gameplay. The other thing that they're trying to do, though, is they're trying to make it so that a matchmaking system that matches detected cheaters and spammers together with one another.
That's pretty funny. Cheating ass niggas in the same room. That's fine. Yeah, they do have a rank mode. I forgot about that. There's a rank mode in there now. Good. They've already banned like 1 million people.
Close to. They've as of May, they had banned over 770,000 accounts out of Apex Legends. I can't believe that many people are doing that shit.
I mean, that type of game, like you can revive, but it gets a little frustrating, like when you spend like 15 minutes running around the map and don't see anybody, and then you get just dropped by somebody cheating. Nah, you want to fight, like real life fight. That's fucked up. For real. So, and if you can prove that they're cheating, nah, I want that nigga banned.
Oh, like I said, I get my ire up just from people that have shit connections when I'm playing in the Crucible on Destiny. I can't imagine fucking running around an empty map for 20 minutes and then
just getting dropped by one sniper shot that you was like, okay, so he wasn't going to miss. Like, I think I've been taken out by a few cheaters in that fucking game, even on the console, or people with like aim assists or something. Because I'm like, there's no fucking way that nigga hit me from that far away with a submachine gun and every shot connected. Like, come on. I mean, there are some people really good, but not that goddamn good. Come on, give me a break. So that's good. Look, I'm fine with this. Let all them niggas play with each other.
That's funny though. That's funny. Just the fucking I think the article I linked in there describes as the 7th circle of hell, basically. People just fucking running around having to fuck with each other.
Didn't Grand Theft Auto do that?
They put a dunce cap on you once. Yeah, if you got caught cheating, and then something else happened. I think they tried. I don't know. It's possible because those people were like griefers. No, they did that for griefers. Like if you kept griefing people, they would put a dunce cap on you, and you would be stuck in there for. And I got a dunce cap once because I just got mad at that fucking game, and they put you in there for like a week. Yeah, they did put you in a different map where it was just a bunch of people griefing. I don't know if it was cheating, but yeah, I couldn't play with my clan for like a week because I was like, fuck it. But yeah, they tried. I don't know if it helped because people were still being assholes in that match in that mode too. So who knows?
So finally, in quick news stories, so last fall, a studio named Athlon Games that announced they were developing a Lord of the Rings title with an unknown partner. And now it's known that they are partnering with Amazon Game Studios, and the Lord of the Rings game that they are making is a Lord of the Rings free-to-play MMO that is currently planned for PC and console. Apparently, the game is going to take place before the Lord of the Ring trilogy saga. It's going to be based on the Tolkien novel universe as opposed to the Peter Jackson movie universe. And supposedly there's no release date or window, so we don't know if that's going to be out next year, possibly the year after, or anything like that. But yeah, so Amazon, this is a pretty significant entrance into the game market for them if they put out a Lord of the Rings MMO. Are you guys excited, or do you think that this space is already kind of congested, and what are they going to do differently?
I've never watched Lord of the Rings or read it.
Oh, I've certainly never read it.
So I'm not interested at all.
I'm just not interested because it's Lord of the Rings. Like, you know, Lord of the Rings is. I mean, it is what it is. It's very standard high fantasy. It's probably what everyone bases their high fantasy on, but it just doesn't do it for me. And another MMO. I mean, you know, it feels like it's been a long time coming for something like this. But you know, if you like it, then you like it, I guess. No, I'm not interested or in this whatsoever.
I find it interesting. Yeah, but I find it interesting they're going free to play out of the gate with it, as opposed to starting off with a paid entry fee and then eventually scaling back to that.
Yes, have I ever played like an MMO? I don't know if I've even played an MMO before, like a true MMO.
No, not like a true blue MMO.
Yeah, not like a.
You would have to pay to play it.
Yeah, that's like Final Fantasy 14 and shit like that, right?
Yeah, WoW and Final Fantasy,
World of Warcraft and that shit. No.
Yeah,
I mean, it's free to play. I download everything free. Like I'd give it a shot, but I'm not interested. I don't really give a fuck. I want to see what their what their model is going to be as far as the game, because you're going to have to make their money somewhere.
Oh, you're going to have to buy everything.
That's what I want to know. Like cosmetics.
You get one character and one set of clothing. Look, oh, you want to mount? They might give you like a jackass to run to have. Like nobody wants to walk around on a donkey, not in the Lord of the Rings world. You know, you want one of them
slow ass mount.
Right. No, you want one of them, them Deathly Hollows horses or whatever the fuck they are. I don't know what they are.
The Wraiths.
Yeah, the Wraiths. Yeah.
I did read the trilogy.
Harry Potter. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, that is Harry Potter.
Never seen those movies either, or read those books either.
But yeah, you're gonna have to pay for everything.
Yeah,
you have to pay for everything.
It's interesting. I think it's going to have a built-in fan base just because of the subject material that it's based on. And they could carve out like a nice niche for them. And again, the free-to-play entry will help them. It gives them a little bit of a leg up over something like an ESO in that regard, where ESO you at least have to buy the base game to play that. So, well,
oh yeah, you got to buy. No, that's right. You got to buy the base.
Yeah.
And this, How does that? Like, I played a little bit of ESO, and that shit bored the fuck out of me. Apparently, it's good now, but I don't know.
Of course, I mean, all these games are after 2 or 3 years of actual development. They've got dragons now, Terrence, in the new expansion. Dragons.
They didn't have dragons before.
No, they didn't. Not in the game.
Elder Scroll.
Yeah. And Khajiit. You can be a Khajiit now, which is the cat people.
That's the cat.
Yeah.
One more reason I'm not playing it. I don't know what nerd fascination is with cats, man, and wanting to be cats. Like, all right, you like cats, fine, weirdo. But you want to be a cat? Like, and this is me talking. I just talked for 15 minutes about a fucking porn pinball, and I look down on you.
Well, look, when this new game comes out, you're going to have to probably... Well, you're not going to have to buy it. It's free to play. But you should support Amazon in other ways, too. And you should do that by going to our site, densepixels.com/Amazon. So if you're listening to the podcast on the day that it's released, on Tuesday, it's still Prime Day. You can still save some sweet money. Now, listen, we've warned against the perils of Prime Day where, in Amazon on the show before, and yet still advertise with them because we can get money from them. Very hypocritical, I know. Hooray, capitalism. But listen, so densepixels.com/Amazon, right? You can still get your shit for cheap. You wanna do better for the workers though in the warehouse? No rush shipping. Free no rush shipping. You don't need it tomorrow. You don't need it 2 days from now. No rush. I'm gonna get my cheap item when I get it. Take your time, Old Man River, 75 years old, scuffling 2 miles across the warehouse.
Yo, have
to
you
pick my items
over there a couple days ago? Have you seen how fucking big that fulfillment center is?
Yes. It looks awful.
It's fucking huge. It's so big.
But that's why. But that's why you go. That's why you go no rush.
Like
there you go.
I don't think I've ever seen a building that big as far as like just size. Like height wise, yeah, like skyscrapers, but like just it would take you like an hour and a half to walk around that motherfucker. Around it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's huge. But anyway, yeah. Those people are fucking killing themselves.
Like I said, absolve yourself of a little bit of that shopper's guilt. No rush shipping. densepixels.com/Amazon. Don't forget as well, youtube.com/densepixels. Subscribe to this channel. Click the red button, ring the bell icon. We post this podcast in video form every week. There's some other content that we put up there as well, including live streams from me whenever I do it. So again, youtube.com/densepixels. Don't forget to subscribe to the other great shows in the TNP Studios network, including the Nerdpocalypse, Black on Black Cinema, and Coming Distractions, delivered to your ear holes every single week. And finally, if you're not a premium member, go to densepixels.com/premium. Sign up today, $5 a month. $50 for the entire year. You got a ton of content. You get weekly episodes to look forward. You get me and Mike on the Men with the Golden Tongues. You get No Time to Bleed. Sometimes we decide to, make an episode and put it out. And then you get the Area Grievances with Mike and Jay. It's fantastic. Check it out.
This is what I like to tell people, right? You're paying for the full episode of Look Forward. That alone is worth it. You're also getting Brad and I talking about James Bond and everything else is just a thank you for buying those 2 shows.
And look, you got Mission Impossible 3 to look forward to. I've got a lot to say about that movie. Not a lot of it's really good.
I can't wait to watch it again. I wonder how I'll feel about it.
Are you watching it this week, by the way, so we can record it soon?
I will try to watch it this week. Yes, but yeah, because we gotta record that sooner rather than later. But yeah, very interested. I'm very interested to hear why you hate Philip Seymour Hoffman. Why do you hate dead white guys?
I mean, I have a bunch of reasons why I hate dead white guys. Yeah, give me the rabbit's foot. Give me the rabbit's foot. Give me the rabbit's foot. Come on. Give it to me. Densepixels.com/premium. Topics of the week. Actually, my and Micah's topic sort of go hand in hand. So Take This is a company inside the game industry that focuses on like mental health issues in gaming. They put out a white paper
talking about the state of mental health in the game development industry. I found it very interesting. I've not read the whole thing. I've read some of it, and I've read the executive summary, which I will relay to you guys today. Basically, it makes me wonder why the fuck, I've said it before on the podcast, why the fuck does anyone do this job in this industry? We're lucky that all of them do.
Yeah.
So the big overarching thing here, job stress, instability, and longevity are significant problems facing the games industry. Game development has become a career path that frequently demands long hours and lacks job stability and clear career trajectories. Only 1/3 of developers remain in the industry for 10 years or more. 53% of game developers report that crunch, which is working more than 40 hours per week over an extended period of time, is an expected component of their employment, with less than 18% recording or less than 18% reporting overtime compensation for exceeding 40 hours a week in a work week. Crunch leads to more burnout. Here's a fun one. The average number of employers for game developers in a 5-year period is 2.2. So the average game developer has more than 2 jobs in the industry within a 5-year period, which shows you how much turnover and layoffs and everything else that's going on in the industry. Of course, this instability leads to increased stress, work anxiety, and depression. And basically, the industry lacks a lot of diversity. In 2019, only 19% of respondents from a survey of game developers identified as female in the United States. In the same survey, only 32% of respondents did not identify as Caucasian or European. A lack of representation has likely contributed to hostile and challenging work experiences for game developers. Those are the big ones for sure. They talk a little bit about the stresses that public perception also gives. People worried about violence in video games, despite there not being, great proof of that having a detrimental effect. I do want to highlight a couple of companies that they praised in the executive summary, and that they go into greater detail in the actual white paper itself. Big Huge Games, which is still kicking, apparently has a low crunch, high diversity work environment. Ubisoft has a no layoff model that they ascribe to. Bungie focuses on diversity in their team. Microsoft's focus on work-life balance, player safety, and inclusion. A company called Certain Affinity has a no layoff model, and a company called Wooga has a top-down focus on mental health in their organization. So again, a couple companies that are praised in this white paper. These things that are summarized in this executive summary sound awful. They sound awful. And if you presented someone with a career path and you didn't tell them what the career path was in, you're like, hey, would you like to work in an industry that these things are present in? Who the fuck in their right mind would ever do that? Ever.
Right.
Fucking wild.
Blood, Sweat, and Pixels actually goes into Crunch. That came out 2 years ago. That's talked about a lot. Crunch.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just kind of like just now finding out about that this year with Jason Schreier. Couldn't do it because, again, they don't get overtime. I know CD Projekt Red does. They do give them because they're required.
Some developers do. Some developers
absolutely. It's law. They're required to pay them overtime over in Poland.
That's why games take forever to come out.
Right, but they do have their crunch, and people like, as far as they go, they want to stay. Like they're really passionate about their shit, and they want to stay because they get paid for it. Then again, it doesn't cost a lot of money to live in Poland, so they get paid a little bit less than people who get paid in the States. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Like I would burn out, and I'd be ready to fight people. like imagine you being a game developer and you come out with a game and then people just shit on it. Like a game that you really worked hard on.
And not only do they shit on it, but they fucking seek you out on social media and tell you to your fucking face.
They go on Twitter and say your game is trash and all those other books. Like, yo, I'd be like Uwe Boll,
You ready
you want to fight the ring? I'd be ready to fight the fucking boxing ring. Like, after all of that time and my mental health, like people take breaks. Like when they finish games, they have to take breaks because they're burned the fuck out.
Yeah, you can't
Like they'll come back. They have to find another job because that game is done. Like if I work for this company, okay, my company's making another game. Which one are they going to send me to? Or if this game is done, am I going to still be working for this company when this game is finished? So I have to find another gig because I just spent 18 months working on this game, like long 60-hour weeks, 100-hour weeks. And when it came time for crunch, only for somebody to be like, yeah, this game sucks, I want my money back. Ugh. Like, I couldn't imagine. Nah, I couldn't. And then you have the testers that are at the lower end, the lower rung of this fucking ladder. Nah.
I don't know if you heard Brad and I talked about it like last or a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. About the reality TV show.
No, I remember that show.
Fucking tester.
Now, wasn't it on PlayStation?
Yeah,
PlayStation Network.
Yeah, you streamed it through the PlayStation. So.
Hey, congratulations! No. You get to be a grunt. Here's your
game over and over again. Your job is to break the game.
Well,
it's to try to break it or look for things that are already broken. Like,
I'm super thankful that you have organizations like Take This. You have people like Jason Schreier, Jim Sterling, also for that matter, who fucking bangs the drum about this shit constantly.
His voice annoys me, but I do like you're right. He's been doing this shit for like 5 years. Yeah. He's been talking about the game industry and certain companies, and he's like, fuck these people.
Right.
Even
like,
to the point of getting.
But no, I am 100% just honest in my fucking opinion, and I will never change.
And it's funny how he has just been shunned by everyone because of it.
And he doesn't give a fuck. Like, look, it's true,
right?
Like he can't stand EA, and it's deserved. Them motherfuckers are evil. You know?
I mean,
like the worst company. I don't know, but they're pretty goddamn terrible.
I mean, that's his cross to bear, though, and I'm calling out these folks. I mean, there's many more who shine a light on these practices. I'm really glad that a lot of that light has been shown over the past 3 years or so, especially. We should be confronted with this, and we should be aware of this, because we are, if we're not, then we are, by being consumers of this and by being demanding and all this sort of stuff, we are perpetrators of this problem as well. We're not responsible for implementing these policies. That falls on the shoulders of these companies. But it's important that we understand what is going on, because it is essential that conditions improve for these folks, because at some point, like if these are your working conditions, if these are the things that are going on all the time at most large game, even large, fucking huge publishers, huge development studios have these problems, you're not going to get good people to do these jobs. Like, those people are going to find environments that can still use their abilities, but actually treat them with a much better work-life balance. And you're not going to get the same quality of games that we're accustomed to getting, that we've been getting for the past several years. And that means that as consumers, we need to, like I said, continue to be aware of that, continue to tell these companies that we are not okay with these poor conditions that people are working in, and that we are willing to, if that means we have to wait a little bit longer to get the games we want, if that means that we have to be a little more understanding if maybe there's bugs and some problems in the game when they first come out, we have to be willing to be okay with that, because the long-term issues that can arise are much worse than any short-term inconvenience that we're suffering. So the white paper is something you should seek out if you're interested in it. It's only like 63 pages, and it's spaced out pretty well. You can probably read it pretty quickly. It's worth reading. It's worth being aware of this kind of stuff, and I appreciate Take This for bringing this sort of thing to the industry, because not a lot of people are really doing that. So
yeah, this is actually I'm skimming through some of the paragraph titles, and it's super interesting. Like I'm gonna have to sit down and read at least some of this, because they touch on like gambling and like basically every negative thing that gaming has nowadays. It looks like it's touched on in this. So yeah, this is very interesting. I have a topic. I usually don't have topics, but I came home. I made dinner for my family, and my wife came home with our son, and she went to go change. So I held him, right? And I carry him over, and I sit down in my favorite chair, and I got him looking at me, and he's stretching and contorting his body because he's looking at the television. Now, the television is not on, but he knows that it has been on, and he knows what the television is, and he wants to watch it. And if we have the television on and he sees it, everything stops, right? Everything stops, and he's just glued to that thing. I'm like, oh shit. Like, we can't really have this. So then it got me thinking, all right, well, if the television affects him like that, what are video games going to do, right? Because all my life I've been hearing, you're going to play these video games and they're going to rot your brain and all that. It's going to mess with your head. So I found a couple of articles that talk about how one's mental health can be when playing video games. The first article is that talks about there actually being a happy medium in video games, and with youth and them playing video games. This article is mainly common sense, right? Like, it's basically, look, there are certain video games aren't all bad, and you're not necessarily going to develop some sort of addiction or anything by playing video games, but at the same time you need to pace yourself. It talks about the American Academy of Pediatrics has come out with guidelines involving screen time, period, not just video games, like screen time, that kids 2 to 5, 1 hour a day, that's it. For children 6 and older, setting limits on screen time and stuff. Telling your kids to take a break. Like, how many Nintendo games have we played, especially with the Wii? Especially with like stuff like Wii Sports, right? They were like, "Hey, don't you think it's time to take a break? Don't you think it's time,
Like, yeah, let's calm down."
Right, I'm a grown ass man. No, you don't tell me to take a break. But no, it's for the kids, man. And to encourage other things like book reading, family time, physical activity, brain exercises, playing board games. Like, you can still get your game fix on, but like, let it be a board game, something tactile, something that you can use your imagination with. It says that Dr. Erica Francis Scott says that informational games can be a useful tool in supporting the learning of new concepts and mastering specific skills. On the other hand, a potential issue is the duration of play, especially if there is an interference with other activities. And they're saying that, I found this funny, that the brain is constantly maturing and doesn't mature until you're like in your mid to late 20s, which makes a whole lot of sense. So a child's brain, as it's developing, you just want to limit your screen time. So that's basically common sense. But this other article I found is called "Video Games Don't Depress Teens as Much as Other Screen Time." Basically, this researchers studied over 3,800 adolescents entering the 7th grade. And they said it was kind of evenly split between boys and girls. This was in Montreal. And Patricia Conrad, who led the study, did this to see how depressive behavior correlates with using 4 types of screens: computer screens, social media, television, and video games. And it says basically that video games are the least affected or effective in causing teens to get depressed. Is it mainly because video games tend not to star teenagers, and so they don't see themselves necessarily as a the focal point, right? Like it's more of wish fulfillment as other than just kind of inserting yourself in the situation. Whereas social media and television, kids see themselves all the time, especially with social media and the age of like people being bullied and shit like that. Like that's the type of stuff that really affects people. So next time somebody says that video games are going to rot your brain, it's all they ask to get the fuck off Facebook. Stupid motherfucker.
And just to be clear, like that doesn't stop at teenagers either. Like I'm more mad fucking reading Facebook than I am anything else in my life. So
I try to stay in my bubble on Facebook. Every time I wander outside, I just get very angry. Because like I don't understand how people are so fucking stupid. But I can absolutely understand it because social media is the devil, right? Like kids go online and like you said, they're bullied. Like it's like something they don't feel it, but like they'll post something to get as many likes as they can, and if they don't, like that affects them negatively,
right?
Because why do people like me? Why didn't I get any clicks for this? And that's why people will do anything for clicks. Like that's like don't go into a store and lick ice cream for clicks. Don't do that. Like that's fucking gross. But that's where we've gone. Like you have a problem if you're willing to do that for social media. Like you're not doing that in video games. You're just like running around shooting stuff. And we've all learned that it doesn't necessarily affect people negatively. And there's a goal in video games. There's a set goal that you have to you turn the game on. You want to do this. This is what you're gonna do. You go through the game. You do it. Social media, your whole goal is to be as popular as possible, and you're willing to do anything to do it. And I don't understand why people are willing to go to the lengths that they go, or why people are so cruel online. I just don't understand.
One of the articles talks about, that all of these things contribute to brain reward pathways. And it says that rewards can come from everyday activities like going to school and hobbies, like things that make you feel good for doing them, things that make you feel good for accomplishing them. And whereas video games give you those rewards when you get to the boss in Dead Cells or complete a game. Social media, like you said, their brain reward pathways are given from likes, and people will do and say anything to get that recognition, and that's not healthy. Like it's very odd, man. So yeah, man, like I don't know. I just think about that stuff now as a new parent, because apparently having babies is all the rage around here. Not trying to steal nobody's thunder, but
you had 6 months. Shut up. It's interesting because we are. I mean, in all honesty, we're the last generation that didn't have to grow up with that. Like when we were in high school, social media wasn't a thing.
Yeah,
right? Cell phones were barely a thing.
I got picked on in person.
I got picked on right in front of my face.
Right. So like it's
and then you punch that bully in the face and you maybe stop. You can't punch somebody through the screen.
Like it is interesting to think in how we might have turned out differently, or in the ways we would have been different if we had to endure that growing up. You know what I mean? So it's tough, man.
Watch Euphoria.
No,
I'm scared to watch that show.
Yeah. Fucking I couldn't be a teenager now. Couldn't do it. It's wild. But if you want to see what teenagers do now, watch that show. It's a little gross because they don't shy away from anything. Whew. But yeah, that's a little glimpse into the life of a teenager nowadays. Good luck, niggas. with your teenage children.
But I mean, I'm right with Micah. Like as a parent, it's difficult to balance it and to manage it, and also my situation is a little bit different as well for reasons we've talked about on the show before. But it is interesting to monitor that stuff. It's funny too, like when you're growing up, like you're like, man, my parents are fucking assholes. Like they're always in for shit all the time.
Right,
And then, like it's like all you have to do is fucking have a kid. And Mike is gonna be 10 times worse than I am. I already know that's fucking true. I have no doubt about that. I was pretty laissez-faire. My wife was the one who was a little crazy about that stuff. And then so this year, my son is going into kindergarten. And he is doing extended school year right now because for him, he needs to continue doing that. And we're trying the bus on kindergarten this year. And so we're doing an ESY to try to, take it for a test drive, I guess, to see if it's gonna be viable. And I was the one that was like, this is a terrible idea. Like, like he can't ride in a car for 30 minutes before throwing up. How the fuck's he gonna deal with a bus? And he's like, and I'm worried, I'm worried about him like sitting there. Like now I'm that guy. Like now I'm that person. My wife's like, just fucking chill out. It's gonna be fine, relax. And it has been. She was right. As usual. So but it's just interesting how you change and in what ways when you become a parent. You truly do. So you get people with new kids out there that never had kids before. You don't even know it's coming.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fucking wild. So, but those were, like I said, interesting two stories that kind of two sides of the same coin, I guess. But overall, just be better, treat people better, and limit your screen time. Because right now, that's the challenge too. Is when they get I don't think we give our son too much, but he's at the point now with his iPad where he knows where we store it, and all he does is point and pound his chest to say that's what I want, and so you have to moderate that. So it can be fucking tough sometimes, but in the long run, I do agree with them that it's a benefit to keep that stuff, rationed out properly. And
like y'all said, man, like everybody needs to do that shit. Get the fuck off Facebook, yo. Get the fuck off Facebook, please.
I mean, and I've never done it before, but there's sometimes where I just need to I really do. Like there's got to come a point where I just need to disengage for a week and just
man. Like just delete the shit. Just delete the shit off of your phone and just delete it back next week or something. Like this. God damn.
Yeah, I've done it like once or twice.
I never have it. I probably
banned. So I could.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Another time I was like, yo, I can't. There's just too much negativity. I can't. I gotta. Like I'm about to swallow. I can't do this. It's tough, man. Like people are crazy.
I've turned to like Instagram as my bastion of positivity. Like my Instagram is literally nothing but close friends and wristwatch feeds. And there's no negativity there. It's all fucking sunshine and rainbows.
Your Instagram is very different from ours.
Yeah. I need one space. I need one space that I can safely turn to and not have to fucking deal with the outside bullshit.
And I need one space that I can safely turn to objectify women. But that's
hey, look, that's what incognito votes for. Anyway, that's it for the show this week. Don't forget to go to deadpixels.com/fans to join our Facebook group where there's always amazing. That's right. Get on Facebook more. Go to deadpixels.com/fans.
You better get on Facebook. Come out.
We are the worst. We are the absolute worst. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/deadpixels. If you want to see Terrence stream, Apparition 410 on Twitch. Carrie is back on the streaming grind again. Sup, it's Carrie. That's it for us. Thank you guys for watching and listening this week, and we will see you all the next time.
I'll see you.
Take it easy.
You're watching the Dense Pixels YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button while you're here, and make sure you check out our weekly podcast where we discuss the latest gaming news and our impressions on what games we've been playing.